What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And considering the dark place that we're in this country right now, it's good to bring some levity back to politics, folks. Check this out right here. White House major events timeline features photo of topless transgender woman. You guys remember this? Last year on Easter Sunday when Joe Biden come out and said Happy Easter. Oh, wait, no, he didn't say that, did he? No, he come out with some statement, quote unquote. He came out, right? It wasn't him, to be honest with you, but we're recognizing Trans Visibility Day or Trans Day of Visibility or whatever the hell it's called. Right? He puts that out instead of Happy Easter to everybody. And, as you would think, conservatives got quite pissed off about that because Joe Biden claims to be a Christian. He claims to be a Catholic. But, look at his views, and, those, they're antithetical to Catholicism, as a matter of fact. So let's get into this, because this is funny. The news is trying to lie about everything, folks, and we're going to break it all down. Check this out, y'all. In an attempt to justify the complete destruction of the White House's East Wing, Donald Trump's administration is lying about President Joe Biden and the transgender community. Now, right off the top, right? Instead, they're kind of telling the truth here, but once again, folks, when you do renovations to your house, right, and you have to tear down a section because you're going to rebuild it or whatever. Let's say a hurricane came through or whatever happened, and you have to tear down some of your house. Do you say you completely destroyed your house? No, you don't, folks. As a matter of fact, you got to tear it down to build back anew. So that's what liberals and, the mainstream, the corporate press, that's what they're trying to portray to every single American. They don't tell you there's a new ballroom coming up. They're just saying Donald Trump is destroying the East Wing. It's fascinating, y'all. The Trump administration has altered a major events timeline on the official White House website to include supposed Democratic scandals. One entry falsely claims that cocaine found in the White House belonged to Hunter Biden, Biden's son, and another falsely claims that Barack Obama is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood Islamist movement. Now, those are lies, as a matter of fact. All of those are lies. You know why? Because I've actually got the clips from the changes. As a matter of fact, I went through AI because it's really hard to go through the White House website. So I asked the good old Grokky if he could summarize the changes, and he gave me this. Check this out, y'all. President Bill Clinton's affair with intern Monica Lewinsky was exposed, leading to White House perjury investigations. The Oval Office trust-fueled impeachment for obstruction includes a photo of Clinton with Lewinsky. That's fascinating. Oh, and what was next? Check it out. Obama hosts members of the Muslim Brotherhood, referencing a White House meeting with the Egyptian Islamist group during President Obama's administration. So that was a lie. The White House isn't claiming that. They're just saying that Obama met with the Muslim Brotherhood at the White House, which he did. So fascinating how they lie. It really is, y'all. And then right there it says, references President Biden's proclamation of the day of the Trans Visibility Day accompanied by a photo of a topless transgender influencer at the White House during long. Now, they come out and said after that, oh, well, we don't agree with all of this and that was completely inappropriate. Yeah, right. And then getting on to, was it the cocaine found at the White House? Watch. What did the corporate press say? That they claim it was Hunter Biden's? We all know it was Hunter Biden's, but this is what it actually says. A small bag of cocaine was discovered in a White House cubby near the West Wing entrance. Speculation has pointed to Hunter Biden, an admitted drug user. Additional evidence includes a laptop containing photos of frequent drug use alongside emails about foreign business dealings, Ukraine, China involved with his father, Joe, and was vice president, blah, 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 blah. You get the rest of it, right? That's just fascinating as hell to me because they're just blatantly lying about that. No, they didn't say it was Hunter Biden's, but that's the speculation because who else would be able to bring cocaine into the White House? Think about that, folks. Like, we discussed this back when it happened, but I mean, think about it. It's not going to be a random visitor. And why? They're not going to be able to gain access to that part of the White House where it was found, as a matter of fact. Right? It's just fascinating how they lie. But let's keep going, because this is a really funny, and they really dive deep on this whole Trans Visibility Day nonsense. I've got a clip to show you guys as well. The last entry features a photo of a topless trans woman at the White House. In other words, a man. Alongside the caption, the Biden-Harris administration hosts transsexuals. And for some reason, it's got sick right there. I don't know why they put that in the news article. At the White House in 2023, and goes on to establish the Transgender Day of Visibility on the same day as Easter Sunday in 2024. Well, that's not true. They didn't say that Joe Biden established it. That's a lie. They just said he recognized it because it fell on the same day as Easter. Instead of wishing everybody happy Easter, he wishes everybody happy Day of Trans Visibility or whatever, and it ruffled the feathers of many conservatives. I could care less, because I know all those individuals are sick anyway. The politicians, not the trans people. I mean, the trans people, they have their own set of issues, right? But, you know, they're just doing what they want to do. As adults, it is what it is. Stay away from the kids. That's all I would tell those people. Do what you want to do. But look, I will say also that, yeah, there's something wrong with them, of course. Obviously. You know, a man just doesn't go and try to become a woman, and vice versa. You know, that just doesn't happen in a normal person's brain, right? You're not born in the wrong body. So they have their own issues, but hey, let them live their life however the hell they want to. Just stay away from the kids once again. But I'm talking the sick individuals are these people that are propagating this nonsense on behalf of these people, right? These trans people don't need advocates in the federal government. They don't need Democrats trying to bludgeon everybody in the country to tell everybody that you must adhere to their sense of self. Like, are you kidding me with this? No, of course I'm not going to do this, right? It's essentially a fad. It's a social contagion right now. Everybody's doing it. No, I'm sorry, folks. That's not how reality works, by the way. But you can't just force people into adhering to a delusion. It's just not going to work. Transgender Day of Visibility was not established by the Biden administration. It was created in 2009 by trans activist Rachel Crandall and occurs on March 31st every year. Biden, who was the first president to recognize the date in 2024, issued a proclamation telling transgender Americans, "I have your back." Is that so? Did he really do that? Or was that somebody else? Once again, because we know Joe Biden was not really 100% compatible with his own faculties at that time. You know, there was a glitch going on 100% of the time. Like, he glitched out all the time. He couldn't think. He couldn't hardly walk. He couldn't hardly talk. He kept stumbling and bumbling over his words, as a matter of fact. And, you know, to be honest with you, it took me a while. I had to search and search and search. But when asked about this very thing, afterwards, Joe Biden had this to say.
Also, our continued enhancements to building the Indo-Pacific in that whole area.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was the right clip, by the way. That is what he said. But Karine Jean-Pierre tried to admonish Republicans for this. Check this out.
So the criticism over the Transgender Day of Visibility, the White House said that the president wouldn't abuse his faith for political purposes. Does the president think that's what Republicans are doing on this?
I mean, look, just a couple of things, and really so surprised by the misinformation that's been out there around this, and I want to be very clear. Every year for the past several years, on March 31st, Transgender Day of Visibility is marked. And as we know, for folks who understand the calendar and how it works, Easter falls on different Sundays, right? Every year. And this year it happened to coincide with Transgender Visibility Day. And so that is the simple fact. That is what has happened. That is where we are. And I do want to say a couple of things because I think it's important here. As you just stated in your questions, what we've been hearing out there, a lot of misinformation done on purpose. And as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Now, sadly, and it's not surprising, right? It is actually unsurprising that politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, and dishonest rhetoric. It is dishonest what we have heard the past 24 hours. It is untrue what we heard over the weekend.
I mean, did you guys get anything from that? She just repeated like talking points or something like that. Like, what was she even saying? She didn't say, oh, there's just a bunch of She didn't say anything at all. Like, what? There was no substance to that speech at all. She just blah, 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 misinformation, blah, 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 Trans Visibility Day was created a long time ago. Blah, 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 blah. That's all that was. It's nonsense. The Christian holiday of Easter, which occurs on the first Sunday following the first full moon after the spring equinox, happened to fall on March 31st that year. Despite the overlap of the dates being a coincidence, conservatives were up in arms, accusing Biden of attempting to replace the Christian celebration with an occasion for queer people. That, once again, is not true. Like, maybe somebody on social media did, but to say conservatives, you're lumping all conservatives together in that. And this is what the corporate press does. That is an outright lie because I never said that, and I'm a conservative. And I don't know any other conservatives that actually thought that Joe Biden was trying to replace Easter. No, we were pissed off because he issued a proclamation about Trans Day of Visibility and not Easter. And he's supposed to be a Christian. We highlighted the hypocrisy of that, not that he was trying to replace it. See, this is what they lie. It's always a straw man. Always a straw man with the corporate press. The picture chosen by Trump's White House to accompany the entry on the major events timeline has nothing to do with Transgender Day of Visibility, but was from a 2024 White House Pride Month celebration hosted by the Biden administration. So what? Rose Montoya, a trans activist and social media influencer, posted a video on TikTok taken at the event with the caption, "I had the honor of attending White House Pride, the largest one in history where the pride flag flew for the first time. This is trans joy. We're here at the White House unapologetically trans, queer, and brown." Like, why lump in brown with that? Like that, the skin, do you think skin color has anything to do with this? I don't know. That person may have been brown. I have no idea, but it's nonsense, folks. I know conservatives, and I was quite ticked off that they flew the Pride Progress flag higher, right next to the American flag, and higher than the American flag, as if that is our country's flag, for crying out loud. That's absolutely disrespectful to the United States, and is another tick on the box that makes Joe Biden the worst president in American history. But it wasn't just that. Just demolishing our traditions, demolishing reality, as a matter of fact, because once again, the Pride Progress flag is affirming a delusion. That's what that is. Absolutely. There's many gay conservatives that don't want to have nothing to do with any of that. Like, it's all nonsense. These people are insane, y'all. At the end of the video, a voice asked, "Are we topless at the White House?" It then cut to two trans men flanking Montoya, all shirtless, though she covered her nipples with her hands. She was seen for less than 3 seconds, trying to justify it, folks. Once again, you're on the White House property. Like, decorum, please. When asked about the video, a White House press briefing, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Montoya's behavior was simply unacceptable and that the individuals in the video certainly will not be invited to future events. It was unfair to the hundreds of attendees who were there to celebrate their families, Jean-Pierre said. It's not appropriate. It's disrespectful, and it really does not reflect the event that we hosted to celebrate the LGBTQ plus hundreds of families who were here to celebrate their community. Montoya responded to the outrage at the time in a TikTok, noting that going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal, and I fully support the movement in freeing the nipple. Whatever that's supposed to mean, right? Okay, folks, so after fact-checking that, yeah, it's true. She did say that on a, kind of uninspiringly said it, like she didn't want to say it, but she knew she had to say that oh, it's unacceptable and doesn't reflect the event we hosted or whatever, like blah 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 blah. Who cares? Who really cares about any of this? No, but I love it, y'all. And I just wanted to throw out some weird news article because why the hell not? I cover some weird news sometimes and might as well. But I think that's all I got. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new around here and you want more weird news videos like this. Go right ahead, subscribe. And follow my other videos that I put out. I put out all kinds of nonsense, but y'all do all that. Subscribe, share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. And if you could, I would be deeply appreciative if you guys would click that join button and help me deliver news to you guys, because you need the news. And the mainstream news, they have these $100 million budgets and all this other stuff, and my budget is, my paycheck or whatever I get. I don't really spend much on this, but I could spend a lot more, and I could bring a higher production quality if you guys would allow that. So y'all do all that for me, and you guys remember that God has a plan for everybody. You may not know what that plan is. I don't know what the plan is, that's for sure, but I can guarantee you one thing: He loves each and every one of you out there. So y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.